Hi guys, we are back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on post notifications. Cardi B is still going off about her getting dragged on social media because she added WAP and Up to her sophomore album for sales and sales only. She said, "This will be my last and only time I'm gonna address this. WAP and Up are two of my biggest songs. My fans have been asking me to put them on an album, and people search it for invasions of the payola all the time. They deserve a home. I let haters make me not submit WAP for the Grammys, and at this point, I'm giving my fans what they want. These two songs don't even count for first week sales, so what are y'all even crying about? Do y'all say anything when these artists pull out all the little tricks and ponies to sell out? Exactly. Now let them eat cake. Go cry about it." Here's the thing about Cardi B, and this is what I don't respect. Girl, you try to finesse and you're getting dragged for it, and you're trying to use it as like, oh, it's not about the sales, it won't count towards first week sales. But at the end of the day, you did it because you were trying to break a record. Okay, because now your album as a whole, not the first week sales, but as a whole, the album is selling 1.5 million so far. And I just feel like that was a little bit tacky, in my opinion. Don't get mad because you're getting dragged, because nobody respects you as an artist. Okay? And then as for you saying, oh, I didn't submit WAP for the haters. No, you didn't submit WAP because WAP is not a Grammy award winning song. That's why you didn't submit WAP. I'm getting sick and tired of her antics and her trying to blame everything on her haters and the other people. Like, stop. Take accountability for your own actions. You didn't submit WAP because you felt like it wasn't a Grammy award winning single. Stop. Okay? So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to give, Cardi B another 50,000 lashings for this little rant that she went on. It wasn't really necessary, in my opinion. And here's the thing. I also feel as though Payola Board, they're not going to be fair about this. Okay? I could definitely see Payola Board changing the rules for this in the future. Okay? If an artist that they don't particularly favorite do something like this, if they put a 5-year-old or 6-year-old song on an album, they're doing this because, Cardi B is under Titanic, and Titanic has good relationships with Billboard. But if the artists that they don't like do this, they're changing the rules expeditiously. So that's another reason why I just think it was kind of corny, and I don't really respect it. And I think that Cardi B knows that she is not really respected in the industry. As much as she try to pretend like, people really fuck with her in the industry, I think a lot of artists don't respect Cardi B as an artist in the industry. And she knows that. That's why she ain't submit WAP. It had nothing to do with the haters. She trying to blame the haters for everything. She needs to start taking accountability for her actions and stop acting like a toddler. Okay? Now, moving on to Doja Cat. Doja Cat's team wants her to sell 100K first week. Let me know if you guys think she can do it. Well, I think if she puts women on her album again, or if she put the Get Into It Yeah remix on her album, it can sell 100K, but probably not first week. Now, I like Doja Cat, so it's really no shade. But I do feel like Doja Cat doesn't have the general public support that Cardi B does. Cardi B is viewed as an underdog. Doja Cat is viewed as a racist, no shade, a racist mixed female rapper that likes white men. She also is known for basically isolating her black audience. So I could already tell y'all Doja Cat not selling 100K first week. Unless she put like an old ass song or do like the Get Into It Yeah remix. Okay? But even then, it doesn't count towards first week sales. It counts towards overall sales for the album. So she's still not going to do 100K. And I think with Doja Cat, she effed up by being so against black culture in certain ways. Okay? Like, she isolated the black audience. Now, moving on to Cardi B. So, Cardi B's WAP has re-entered the US iTunes top 10, sitting at number 4 with 300,000 streams. Okay? So, because Cardi B decided to put WAP on her album, the fans are now repurchasing the song and is doing well on iTunes. Okay? I still stand on the fact that this is her cheating. And I just don't think she should be allowed to put WAP or up on her album. I still have that stance. I don't care if Garbage Gang calls me a hater. Okay? I feel as though I'm standing on what's right and what's wrong. And also the art of music. So I don't care if it looks like I'm hating on Cardi B. Cardi B hates herself. That's why she changes her face all the time. Nobody that loves themselves gets all that damn surgery. So don't talk about me hating on Cardi B. Cardi B hates herself. That's why she got all that surgery and still can't keep a man. Okay, no shade. So with that being said, I still think it's wrong that WAP is on her second album. Point blank, period. And also in other news, Cardi B's Outside has also sold over 100,000 units in the US. Okay, so let me know how y'all feel about that. Now, moving on to Halle Bailey. Halle Bailey is not playing around with doodle garbage. Okay, as we know, Halle has filed a custody case after doodle garbage was spotted out with India Love. And then on top of that, he requested to have supervised visits with their son, Halo, in Italy. Now it has been reported that Halle is seeking full custody. She has temporary full custody of Halo, but it's not permanent. But she is seeking full custody in their custody battle for Halo, and that she wants Doodle Garbage to stay 100 feet away from their son. Okay, now it was just approved that he can visit Halo in Rome, but unfortunately it will be supervised by a third party. Now, here's my thing. Do I think Doodle Garbage should be able to see his son? Yes. Do I think it should be supervised? Yes. I feel bad for the child, but like I said before, I don't feel bad for Doodle Garbage and Halle. And I also feel like there is a possibility that Halle could be doing this to spite Doodle Garbage because he'd be seen out with multiple women. Now, do I feel like he did abuse her and probably smacked her up a few times? Absolutely. Because Ruby Whore, his ex, said that, he has put hands on her. But I also do believe 110% that Halle is, being spiteful just a little bit to Doodle Garbage because she sees him out with multiple women. I think she still probably has some feelings towards Doodle Garbage, and she has every right to still have feelings for him. He probably was her first, and so she might still be spiteful towards him. But I think what Halle should do is come up with a schedule where, she can see Halo, and then also Doodle Garbage should be able to see Halo. You don't want your son to grow up without a father. Okay? And if Doodle Garbage doesn't want to be a deadbeat, allow him to be in the child's life if it's safe. Okay? If he beating you up in front of Halo, then unfortunately I would have to say he doesn't deserve to see Halo if that's the case. But if he's not doing that and he's a good father, let him be in Halo's life. But I do believe that he probably was abusive towards Halo. I don't think she just pulled that out of her ass. And that might be one of the reasons why she feels as though he can't be around the child. He a bad influence. Now, of course, Queen B is getting dragged. What else is new? Fans are blaming Queen B because Kelly Rowland is opening up for Monica and Brandy on tour. Okay? Monica and Brandy are going on tour together. I definitely won't be interested in that tour, no shade. And, they're having certain artists, perform before they get on stage, okay? Like an opening act. And Kelly Rowland is one of the opening acts for some of the tour dates. And fans are blaming Beyonce, saying, Beyonce needs to help Kelly Rowland's career. Why hasn't Beyonce helped Kelly Rowland? Well, here's the thing. It's not Beyonce's job to help Kelly. Okay? She don't even help the artist she signed. Okay? She don't even help Walmart, Beyonce, and Preggers, okay? No shade. She didn't even help them. Do you really think she give a fuck about Kelly Rowland's career? Stop. Stop. Let's not be delusional. Also, Kelly Rowland got dropped from Columbia years ago. She put out an album after the Motivation album and got dropped. So what does that tell you? That Kelly Rowland is not a profitable artist. Especially since Kelly been in the game since the 90s. Shouldn't she be doing her own tour? Why are you opening up for Brandy and Monica? I really gotta give no shade. Kelly Rowland gotta receive 50,000 lashings. You should not be opening up for Brandy and Monica. Okay, that's embarrassing. You've been in the game very long. 20 plus years, almost technically 30, you should not be doing that. That lets me know that you're a has-been and you fell off. Okay? Don't try to blame Beyonce because Kelly Rowland is a has-been and she fell off. Very beautiful girl, can sing, can dance, very talented, but she just not popping. Okay? So don't try to blame Beyonce for that. Beyonce has been able to remain relevant. She's doing a stadium tour and she don't even have an opening act. That's how good she is. And I just feel as though Kelly Rowland, she hasn't remained relevant. And I don't think it's because she's lazy. I just think that, the label dropped the ball. It's really the label towards Columbia. Columbia dropped the ball with Kelly Rowland. Matthew Knowles used to sabotage Kelly Rowland in the beginning of her career. And unfortunately, it's harder when you're a dark-skinned black woman in the industry. But I just don't feel like this has anything to do with Beyonce. This has everything to do with Kelly Rowland. Don't blame Beyonce because Kelly Rowland's a flop. I don't feel like that's right. Now, moving on to Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion is facing her karma. It has been reported that Megan Thee Stallion's Whenever has surpassed 8 million streams on Paolify, and unfortunately, that is not good. 8 million streams? That's how many streams people do in a week. 8 million, that's it? Whenever it came out a few months ago. So this is definitely a flop. But I think that this is Megan's karma because she was getting a little bit too big-headed. Okay? I feel like she was getting a little bit too big-headed after Bigfoot came out and everybody was siding with her. And then that's why she dropped 2 albums back to back. And even when she dropped 2 albums back to back, those albums flopped. Okay, Act 2 and Act 1 flopped. Okay, and I don't feel like there was enough hits for the albums that she dropped. So with that being said, I can see Megan eventually leaving hip hop because I just don't think that she will thrive as an artist. If she continues doing rap, and that's just my opinion on it. Now, moving on to Diddy quickly, the feds are receiving 5 million lashing for the motherfucking day. How the hell are these federal prosecutors gonna start saying that they're going to be dropping charges against Diddy? What? Why would y'all do that? This evil man finna get out, okay? But guess who's president? Y'all allow that man to be president, and he is an R-word. So clearly in America, there's no morals. But with that being said, the charges that are getting dropped allegedly from the Diddy trial is attempted kidnapping, attempted arson for Kid Cudi's car, aiding and abetting in blank trafficking, extortion via NDAs and settlements, okay? Now, I just don't respect this at all. I feel like I get it. He may not be guilty of everything, but he's guilty of 85% of the things that people accused him of, okay? And I just feel like the environment, especially in hip-hop, and, black culture won't be safe if Diddy gets out. I mean, goodness gracious. Really? I mean, why would y'all drop charges towards the end of the trial? Are y'all dumb? Okay? Did y'all get paid off? What the hell is going on around this bitch? But technically, if y'all was on my Patreon, this ain't shocking. Okay, because he already have somebody behind the scenes helping him. That tea is on Patreon. But the point of the matter is, y'all let the evil people get away with everything. Okay, well, not the general public, but I feel like definitely the industry, the feds that work with the industry, they definitely allow a lot of evil people to run the world, okay? And I just feel like, I just don't think it's fair for Diddy to get off completely. Now, there are still some charges remaining. He still got the blank trafficking case with Cassie and Jane Doe. Transportation of prostitutes, that charge is still on him. And then bribery, obstruction of justice. He still got, some charges against him. But I just feel like that's not going to be enough. We got to nail him to the coffin. Like, what the hell? Like, goodness gracious. All I know, if Diddy can get out, Luigi can get out. That's not fair. If that's what I don't understand. Like, we can't let the rich and powerful people get away with crimes. Okay, because they rich and powerful. That's not fair. Okay, y'all gotta hold these rich men accountable. This is unacceptable. So 3 million lashings to the feds. Y'all are fucking dumb as hell. And you know what? I hope these prosecutors, they lose their job. This better not be true. Y'all need to lose y'all job. Y'all did not do a good enough job nailing Diddy to the cross. Now, moving on from that, what the hell happened to little Uzi? Oh my goodness, he looked worse than he's ever looked before. Bottom bussy little Uzi was seen out in the public looking like a crackhead. And, some people are feeling like he's on drugs. I think it's deeper than that. Okay, I think it's a little bit deeper than that. JT, you need to go get your man. Okay? Because he's out here looking crazy. Now, some people are saying that little Dookie, he got cloned. But either way, I mean, just to pop out like this, looking like a crackhead, he looks a mess. He always was ugly, but this is even worse than he's ever looked before. JT, I'm holding you accountable. Why your man out here looking crazy like this? Are you gonna say something about this? He looked like he's on drugs. Okay, so JT, you gotta come to the front of the congregation. I'm not gonna give you no lashings, but you do need to be held accountable. I just feel like it's kind of odd that your man out here looking crazy. No shade, he looks a mess.